Welcome to Math TV with Professor V. In this video, we're going to look at some additional examples of how to find limits of functions using their graphs. If you haven't watched the introductory video lecture covering this topic, I'll link it here in the top right. You can click and it'll be in the description also. But I'm just going to jump right in and solve a few extra examples to give you guys some more exposure and practice with this topic. Now remember, with limit notation, when we have the following, limit as x approaches a of f of x equals L, let's just recap what everything represents. So we write lim to designate that we're taking the limit. X is approaching a, that's some value within the domain of the function. And we'll be precise sometimes if we put a plus sign, like you see here and here, then we're approaching from the right. If we have a minus sign, then we're approaching this value a from the left. Of f of x, this is the function whose limit we're taking. And then we're trying to figure out what the y values are approaching. So a always applies to the x values, the domain values. L, the limit, is what the y values are approaching. And keep in mind, when you have a limit, it's not necessarily what the function's actually equal to at that point. It's just what it's tending towards, what it's walking to. So I like to make the analogy of imagining yourself or somebody walking on the graph towards A from whichever direction is specified. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean right now. Let's just jump into this first example right here. It says for the function g whose graph is given, so this pink graph belongs to g of t. We're using t's instead of x's. State the value of each quantity if it exists. If it does not exist, explain why. So for part A, they're asking us to find the limit as t approaches 0 from the left of g of t. So first, keep in mind this is a domain value. Okay, so not x value, but it's moving in the t-axis this way. T is approaching 0 from the left. So imagine, here's where 0 is, right? You're walking on the graph, always on the graph, coming from the left side of 0. So here you are, or somebody else is, walking towards 0. Remember, 0's right here. You're walking towards that value from the left side of the graph. The limit says, what is this function, g of t, what are the y values approaching? Okay, so take a look at the graph. Where are you going? If you keep going from the left side, when you hit t equals 0, you're actually going to be exactly at -1. That's the y value. Okay, so this limit is -1. Good? We under control? Not too bad, right? All right, part B says now the limit as t approaches 0 from the right of g of t. So this time we're walking on the graph from the right side of 0. So we're actually on this other piece right here. And I'm going to have another little person walking, going this way. What y value are they approaching the closer they get to t equals 0? Good, that's -2. Now, have no fear. I understand it's an open circle, but that's the thing about limits. It's not asking what the function's actually equal to. It's just asking what is the graph tending towards, and it's tending towards -2. All right. Good so far? Now part C says, what is the limit as t approaches 0 of g of t? This is a two-sided limit because they're not specifying from which side we're approaching. So in order to answer this question, in order to evaluate this limit, I first have to consider what's the limit from the left, what's the limit from the right, which we already did. And then in this particular case, you see how they're not equal? Well, then that means this limit does not exist. In order for the two-sided limit to exist, the limit from the left has to equal the limit from the right. Oops. So that's just going to be my explanation. Okay, let me erase this so I have some room here, people. I need some breathing room. I'm going to say this does not exist because the limit as t approaches 0 from the left of g of t does not equal the limit as t approaches 0 from the right of g of t. Basically, It's like if you tell your friend, hey, let's meet at t=0, and you don't tell them from which side of the graph they should come, you guys may not find each other, right? That's the problem. Okay, let's move on. Look at a couple more components of this graph. Part D, the limit as t approaches 2 from the left of g of t. So here's 2. From the left means we're walking on that part of the graph. Okay, strolling along. What y value are you tending towards? The closer and closer you get to 2. Positive 2, right? Very good. What about now if you're walking on the graph towards 2, but from the right side? So we're coming from over here. What y value are you approaching? That's the limit. You're going towards 0. All right, so now what do we say? The limit as t approaches 2, the two-sided limit of g of t. Well, let's check. Does the limit from the left equal the limit from the right? No. So again, this does not exist because same reason, the limit as t approaches 2 from the left of g of t does not equal the limit as t approaches 2 from the right of g of t. Now, they asked us for something interesting here. In part G, it says, what is g of 2? What is the function actually equal to at 2? Well, this is where you pay attention to where you actually have a closed circle. And this point right here is at 1, right? The y value is 1. So g of 2 equals 1. And notice, 1 is not the limit from the left. It's not the limit from the right. So your function can be defined completely differently than its limit from either side of that particular domain value. Okay, last little part, H, it asks for what is the limit as t approaches 4 of g of t. Now this one's different because they didn't ask us first for the limit for 4 from the left and 4 from the right before the two-sided limit, the way they did in the previous exercises. You see how leading up to C and F, we looked at the limits from either side. So since they didn't have us break it down, let's just do that on our own right now. So let's think about what's the limit as t approaches 4 from the left, and then the limit as t approaches 4 from the right. Always put something right here, g of t. So don't leave this all naked, okay? Very common, students forget to, they just write lim and then nothing and they put what it is, but it's like, of who? Of who, for crying out loud. Okay. So we're walking to 4 from the left. 4 is right here. So if we're walking on the left-hand side, we are over here. What y value are you approaching? The closer and closer you get to 4, that's 3. And from the other side, as you're walking, again, you're approaching 3. So in this case, we can say the limit as t approaches 4, since the limit from the left equals the limit from the right, this is equal to 3, the y value. Okay, good. Hope that helped. Let's look at another example, just a wee bit spicier. So it says, for the function a, whose graph is shown, state the following. So it asks for the limit as x approaches -3 of a of x. So where's -3? It's right here. This is a two-sided limit. They didn't tell me from which side. So I'm going to first consider what the limit is from the left and from the right before I answer this question. So the limit as x approaches -3 from the left of a of x, and then I also need the limit as x approaches -3 from the right of a of x. Okay. So from the left-hand side, say we're walking on the graph over here. Where are you tending towards the closer and closer you get to -3? What y value are you approaching? Well, this one's a little different. The graph is not leveling off, it's shooting up. So you're actually approaching positive infinity. And what if you're walking from the other side of the graph, from the right side of -3? Same thing, right? You're approaching positive infinity. So in this case, the limit from the left is equal to the limit from the right. Now, when we say a limit exists, technically it needs to exist as a finite number. So sometimes in the back of the book, when you're checking your answer, both sides are approaching positive infinity. So I'm going to put down positive infinity. Okay. Some books will say in the back does not exist, which technically, yeah, the limit doesn't exist because it's not a finite number. But we can be specific in the way in which it doesn't exist. And when we answer positive infinity, then that indicates that we know we've got a vertical asymptote. And on both sides of that vertical asymptote, the graph is going upward. It's approaching positive infinity. So remember, in terms of all of our definitions, and later when you learn continuity, limits, when limits exist, they have to be finite numbers, okay? But when we have infinite limits, it's often good to be precise and say in which way those limits don't exist, and be precise in saying positive infinity or negative infinity when possible, okay? Good. Every instructor kind of has their own take on it, so just ask your teacher what they prefer. Let's go to example B. The limit as x approaches 2 from the left of a of x. So this time we're approaching 2. 2's right here. From the left, so that means we're walking on the graph on this side. So where are you going? What's the y value that you're approaching? Negative infinity, right? Good. Now, part C says the limit as x approaches 2 from the right. So if you're walking on the other side of the graph, where are you going? In this case, you're going towards positive infinity. So they didn't ask this, but if they had asked you, what's the limit as x approaches 2, the two-sided limit of a of x, then I would have my students put does not exist. Why is that? Because notice at 2, the limit from the left goes to negative infinity, whereas the limit from the right goes to positive infinity. So they're not equal. They're not approaching the same value. So I have to say the two-sided limit does not exist. That's different than the case over here at -3, where both sides were approaching positive infinity. So that's why I do like to be a little more precise and not just slap on DNE anytime we have an infinite limit. Okay, good. One more. What's the limit as x approaches -1 of a of x? So where's -1? It's over here. Let's check both sides first. They didn't ask us. So what's the limit as x approaches -1 from the left? And then what's the limit as x approaches -1 from the right? Let's see. So -1 from the left, you're walking on the graph here, and where are you going? Down, 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 down to negative infinity. What about from the other side? Straight to the abyss with you too, negative infinity. So the limit as x approaches -1 is negative infinity. Okay, very good. Now part E asks for the equations of the vertical asymptotes. We've pretty much drawn them in our limit investigation. Remember, vertical asymptotes, all of their equations start with x equals. So x equals -3, x equals -1, and x equals +2. And you have a vertical asymptote in your graph if from either side, the left or the right, the graph approaches positive or negative infinity. That constitutes a vertical asymptote. So I hope you found this video helpful. I have lots more videos and examples and whatnot on my YouTube channel. You can also catch me on Instagram and TikTok at Math TV with Professor V. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me your favorite part of the video. And I'll be back with more content soon. Have a great one, you guys.